So what if I told you the secret to getting rich wasn't about earning more money, but about owning less stuff? I know, it sounds completely backward, but we're about to dive into a powerful idea that might just change everything you think you know about money, wealth, and freedom.
And to really get our heads around this, let's start with a story. A tale of two people living in the same city, but their financial lives, they're worlds apart. It's a perfect example of a strange paradox. Having a high income doesn't always make you wealthy.
Okay, just look at this. It's wild. On the left, we've got our high earner. Their apartment is jam-packed with expensive furniture, a huge TV, closets literally overflowing with clothes that still have the tags on. But here's the kicker. They are just 2 missed paychecks away from a total financial crisis. Now look to the right. This person earns almost half as much. Their home is simple, functional, and they have a year and a half of living expenses saved up. They are rock solid. So you've got to be asking, right? How is that even possible? The answer, it turns out, isn't about their paycheck. It's about a hidden force, this silent drain on our finances that most of us never even notice.
Well, that hidden force has a name. The source material calls it the second cost. It's this idea that everything you buy doesn't just cost you money once, it costs you twice. And honestly, understanding this one concept is the absolute key to unlocking real financial freedom.
Here's the most important takeaway. The price tag you see in the store, that's just the entry fee. The second cost is the mandatory lifetime subscription you automatically sign up for with every single purchase. It's this ongoing background price of ownership that just quietly eats away at your wealth.
And this second cost has 4 parts. First, there's storage. You know, that fancy treadmill isn't just a treadmill. It's taking up physical real estate that you're paying for. Then you've got maintenance. The rule of thumb for a boat, it costs 10% of its value every year just to own it. Then there's mental energy, and this is a real thing. Studies have shown that physical clutter literally raises your stress hormones. But this last one, opportunity cost, this is the one that is absolutely devastating to your finances.
Okay, let's make that opportunity cost real. Let's say you decide to spend $15,000 on a fancy, high-end home gym. Feels like a great investment in your health, right? A one-time purchase. But the real question you have to ask is, what did you truly give up to get it? You gave up this. That exact same 15 grand, if you just put it in a simple index fund, could have grown to over $50,000. So you see, you didn't just buy a home gym. You actually traded a huge chunk of your future financial freedom for it. That is the devastating power of opportunity cost.
So if the second cost is that dangerous, what do we do about it? How do we fight back? Well, it all starts with a set of rules for what we'll call smart acquiring. Basically, strategies you can use before you ever pull out your wallet.
Here's a really powerful way to think. Calculate the cost per use. So that cheap $200 jacket seems like the smart buy, doesn't it? But what if you only wear it 4 times? Well, now it's costing you $50 every time you put it on. Meanwhile, that higher quality, $400 jacket that you wear constantly, its cost per use is just $2. This simple bit of math completely redefines what cheaper actually means.
And here are 2 more game-changing rules. First, rent or borrow before you buy. Seriously, this one habit will prevent your garage from becoming a sad museum of past enthusiasms. You know, the kayak you used twice, the skis collecting dust. Second, always calculate the multiplier effect. A big purchase is never just one purchase. That boat isn't just the sticker price, it's the trailer, the storage fees, the insurance, the endless maintenance. The true cost is always higher.
Okay, so we know how to buy smarter. But what about all the stuff we already have in our lives? Well, that's where our next set of rules comes in. This is all about how to be a deliberate owner. This right here is the replacement test, and let me tell you, it is brutally effective. Go through your house, pick up an item, and ask yourself this question. If your honest answer is no, then that item has negative value. It's not an asset at all. It's a liability that's costing you precious space and mental energy every single day.
So how do you maintain that clarity? It really comes down to 2 simple habits. First, count your things. I'm serious. Awareness is the enemy of accumulation. When you know for a fact that you already own 47 shirts, the idea of buying a 48th just starts to feel ridiculous. And second, practice cyclical decluttering. Forget the massive, stressful weekend purge. Just removing a few items every week is way more sustainable, and it stops the clutter from ever creeping back in. Now, these rules and tactics are powerful, for sure. But for any of them to actually stick, they need to be fueled by the right mindset. So let's talk about the core philosophy that makes this whole approach to wealth actually work.
This is probably the most important shift we need to make. We have to fundamentally redefine wealth. Conventional wealth is all about what you have, the stuff, the house, the car. But minimalist wealth, it's measured by what you can choose. It's all about optionality, the freedom to quit a job you hate, the ability to handle a surprise medical bill without panicking. That's real wealth.
And building that kind of optionality happens through a few key mindset shifts. First, you have to define enough. You decide your financial finish line in advance so that when you get a raise, that extra money becomes savings, not just a way to inflate your lifestyle. Next, create some spending friction. A simple 24-hour waiting rule before any non-essential purchase can eliminate something like 70% of impulse buys. It's amazing. And finally, stop upgrading just because you're bored. If your phone still works perfectly, it doesn't need to be replaced.
And when you put all of this together, something truly amazing starts to happen. You create this powerful, positive feedback loop. When you spend less, you save more. When you save more, you start to feel secure. And that feeling of security actually reduces the emotional need to go out and spend money for that temporary high. It's a virtuous cycle that just keeps building on itself.
Okay, the theory is clear, the mindset is powerful. But where do you actually start? Like right now? Let's turn all of this into a concrete, no-excuses action plan you can begin the second this is over.
Here it is, simple and totally doable. This week, find 10 things in your house that fail the replacement test and get them out. This month, start that 24-hour waiting rule. Just try it. And this year, do the deep work. Sit down and actually write out what enough means to you.
Because it's so important to remember this was never about deprivation. The goal isn't to just have less. The goal is to strategically redirect your resources, your money, your time, your energy, away from managing stuff and toward building a life you actually love. The goal is to have more life.
And so, we end right back where we started, with a choice. After seeing all the hidden costs and the clear path to real freedom, it all comes down to this one simple question. Do you own your possessions, or do they own you?